Tonight, let us return to the ancient world, a world where forests shimmered with divine light and where the gods themselves shaped the destiny of heroes. You have walked beside Heracles through darkness and wrestled with monsters. But now, his journey leads him into a quieter, more sacred realm. So, find a comfortable place, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and follow the hero as he chases a creature touched by the moon itself. After defeating the venomous Hydra, a victory won with fire and brute strength, Heracles was given a labor unlike any he had faced before. His third task was not to kill, but to capture. He was to bring back the Ceryneian Hind, a creature of breathtaking beauty, a deer with golden antlers and hooves of bronze, so swift it was said to outrun an arrow. Most importantly, it was sacred to Artemis, the formidable goddess of the hunt. To harm, it was to invite her wrath. This was a test not of muscle, but of something far deeper. The forest Heracles entered felt different from the swamps of Lerna. It glowed with a warm, perpetual twilight. The leaves on the ancient trees sparkled as if dusted with tiny, living embers. A soft breeze, carrying the scent of damp earth and wildflowers, whispered through the branches, creating a sound like distant bells, not the harsh ring of metal, but the gentle, melodic chiming of nature itself. This was a place of peace, a sanctuary, and somewhere within its hallowed groves, the hind lived. It was a divine creature, a living symbol of untouched, wild beauty. As Heracles stepped onto the mossy ground, he felt something new stir within him. It wasn't fear, it was awe. He tightened his cloak around his shoulders, his footsteps falling softly, as the mystical forest opened before him like a waking dream. For hours, he moved in silence, his senses on high alert, tracking prints he could barely see. Then, as the first light of dawn painted the sky in shades of rose and gold, he saw it. There, atop a small hill covered in morning dew, stood the Ceryneian Hind. Its coat shimmered like molten gold under the rising sun. Its magnificent antlers reflected the dawn light, appearing like polished twin crowns. Its eyes, dark and intelligent, were gentle, yet held a wisdom that seemed impossibly ancient and aware. The creature turned its magnificent head, and for a fleeting, powerful moment, Heracles felt as if it was looking not just at him, but through him, studying the very essence of his soul. Then, with a movement as silent as a thought, it was gone. It leapt into the forest with a grace that defied gravity, faster than any mortal beast could ever hope to be. Heracles let out a slow breath. He understood immediately. This labor would not be won with force. There would be no charge, no heroic clash. This would demand patience, persistence, and a profound respect for the wild spirit he pursued. This was a challenge of quiet strength. And so began the longest chase in mythic history. Heracles followed the hind across the vast landscapes of Greece, through sun-drenched mountains, across rushing rivers, and into deep, shadowed valleys. This was not a pursuit of anger or aggression. It was more like a dance, a silent, ongoing conversation between the hero and the creature, a choreography written across the land itself. For a full year, they moved in this strange harmony. By day, Heracles would follow the faint glint of its golden coat in the distance. By night, when fog rolled in and obscured the stars, the hind's own ethereal glow would become his beacon, a soft, pulsing light guiding him through the darkness. At dawn, he would find its hoofprints shimmering on the grass, looking like scattered stardust left behind by the passing night. Some say that during this year-long quest, Heracles learned more about peace than he ever had about war. He learned the rhythm of the seasons, the language of the wind, and the patience of the ancient stones. He was no longer just a warrior. He was becoming a part of the natural world. This labor was not a battle. It was a lesson in endurance and reverence. And slowly, miraculously, the hind began to slow its pace. It was not out of exhaustion, for its divine stamina was boundless. It was something else. It was a form of acceptance. It was as if the creature finally understood that Heracles was not a hunter seeking a trophy, but a seeker of truth, bound by a sacred duty. It sensed the respect in his heart, the quiet determination that had replaced his usual warrior's fury. One cool morning, near the banks of the river Ladon, the chase finally came to an end. The hind stopped to drink from the clear, flowing water, which sparkled around its bronze hooves like liquid moonlight. The air grew still and felt timeless. Even the river itself seemed to pause its flow, holding its breath in anticipation. Heracles approached with infinite care, his movements silent and deliberate. He had carried a net with him for a year, never once using it with violence. Now, with a gentle, fluid motion, he cast it. It wasn't a harsh throw meant to trap and injure. It was a gesture of reverence, a soft embrace. The hind did not struggle. It did not fight or flee. It simply bowed its golden head slightly, its dark eyes meeting his as if acknowledging his incredible perseverance, and more importantly, his respect. In that quiet moment, Heracles whispered, his voice soft, "I will not harm you. My quest ends with your capture, not your suffering." The creature's eyes shimmered softly in understanding. As Heracles began the long journey back to Tiryns, carrying the sacred deer with the utmost care, the atmosphere suddenly changed. The air grew cold, the forest darkened around him, and from the shadows, a figure of radiant, powerful light appeared. It was Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, her presence as commanding as the full moon. Her voice was calm, yet it held an edge as sharp as one of her silver arrows. "Why do you touch what belongs to me?" Heracles immediately knelt, bowing deeply, holding the hind gently but protectively. "Great Artemis," he said, his voice steady and sincere, "I was commanded to this task by King Eurystheus. I meant no disrespect to you or to this magnificent creature. I have pursued it with honor." Artemis studied him for a long moment, his weary face, the old scars of battle, and the new sincerity in his eyes. Her stern expression softened. "Your heart speaks the truth," she finally said. "You have not behaved as a mere brute. You have honored the hind, and for that, I will allow you to complete your labor." With a graceful gesture, she blessed the creature, her touch a flicker of moonlight. The forest brightened once more. Heracles bowed again in gratitude as the goddess vanished as silently as she had appeared. When Heracles finally presented the hind to King Eurystheus, the arrogant king demanded that the creature be handed over to him, likely to be added to his personal menagerie. But Heracles refused. He had not endured this year-long chase just to see this divine animal caged. The moment the king had officially seen it, fulfilling the letter of the labor, Heracles released the hind. With a flash of gold, Artemis's sacred deer sprinted away, disappearing back into the forest, free and unbroken. The king screamed in fury, cheated of his prize, but Heracles felt a deep, calm victory in his heart. This labor was never about killing, burning, or breaking. It was about patience, respect, and the quiet, unyielding strength required to protect what is sacred. As night fell over the kingdom, Heracles looked up at the moon, feeling its silver glow warm his soul. A silent nod from the goddess herself. The third labor was complete. Tonight, you have walked beside a hero through forests of gold. You have chased a creature made of moonlight, and you have witnessed the rare harmony that can exist between a determined soul and the wild heart of nature. May this gentle journey bring you peace, and may your dreams tonight run as freely and as beautifully as the Ceryneian Hind. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe for more tales from the ancient world. Sleep well.